Thank you. Thank you very much. Delighted to see this great audience. And welcome to Huckabee from the Fox News studios in New York City. Monday, we observe President's Day, which officially honors all U.S. presidents. But the reason that it's in February is because George Washington's birthday is February 22nd. Out of all the presidents, why is he called the father of our country? Well, he was a military genius who led this nation, and Washington established the structure of the modern presidency from the cabinet to the inaugural address. But the most important thing is what George Washington didn't do. Some Americans would have made Washington the king, but he refused royal powers and even titles like Your Highness. He was so popular he could have become ruler for life, but he set the precedent by returning to private life after just 2 terms. His humble willingness to give up power and transfer it peacefully to his successor was practically unheard of. As I watch the current president in one power grab after another, as he shreds the constitutionally sacred notion of separation of powers, I wonder if he's even aware of just how different his approach to the presidency is. The degree to which Barack Obama has ignored laws that he doesn't like or agree with, and some, like Obamacare, that he actually championed, is nothing short of breathtaking. If the Republicans propose a delay of Obamacare through a bipartisan legislative process, he ridicules them and reminds them that he won the election. If immigration legislation stalls because of his ineptness in working with Congress, he just waves his royal scepter and implements the DREAM Act. The fact that 34 states voted to uphold marriage as a relationship between one man and one woman means nothing to President Obama. What's more interesting is that in 2008, he declared his opposition to same-sex marriage because of his Christian views and the Bible. Now, he never mentions his Christian view of marriage or the Bible, nor does he explain if he has knowledge of a rewrite of his 2008 Bible. So he just declares that same-sex marriage is so good that one has to wonder if he thinks we should all marry someone of the same gender. The founders knew that unchecked power and distance from the people would lead to corruption, arrogance, and indifference. I suspect George Washington would also be appalled by the growing imperial nature of the presidency, from its celebrity trappings to the power grabs by executive order. It's antithetical to everything Washington stood for. But it's been on the rise through several administrations, so now it's rocketed into hyperdrive. Now, I realize I'm courting ridicule by talking about those old dead guys who might disapprove of our cool new way of doing things. But I happen to think the Constitution they wrote would work a lot better than the reckless arrogance that we've got now. You know, we really ought to try using the Constitution again sometime. President's Day seems to me like the perfect time to discuss it, since so few children today know even the basic facts about the American system of government. A recent survey of Arizona 8th graders found that just 23% knew the House and Senate were the 2 parts of Congress. Only a quarter knew that the first 10 amendments are called the Bill of Rights. Not many more even knew that Washington was our first president. And fewer than 30% knew that the supreme law of the land is the Constitution. I'm not going to hold that against the kids, since many of our politicians don't seem to know that either. It's one reason that I helped launch a video series for kids called Learn Our History. I believe that a culture who doesn't know its history is like an individual who's lost his memory. Both result in confusion, disorientation, and darkness. And it would really help to have a president who would at least watch some children's videos to find out what kind of country we've got. I'll even send him some so he can watch them.